Everything in our lives is on loan, but most of us don't realize it. Find out what I'm talking about coming up next. So without intending to be sad or pessimistic, it's really, really important, I think, for all of us to understand that everything in our lives is on loan. And that loan could be called due at any moment. And no matter what any kind of piece of paper, physical or digital, otherwise says, we don't own anything. Everything in our lives is a gift, and a temporary gift at that. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And we as humans struggle mightily to acknowledge that very real fact. In the blink of an eye, can all be gone. And it's such a core truth of our humanity that we struggle to recognize this, that we have a saying for it. You don't know what you got till it's gone. And I'm going to date myself here, but there's this great song from an 80s band, hair band called Cinderella, by that very same title. They have a great song, You Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. It's so incredibly true. Now, when we can come to grips with that reality, that everything is alone, all is temporary and can be gone just like that, then when we can begin to embrace that transience, the transience of all things, we can really then begin to cherish the small things, to develop a deep and abiding and meaningful gratitude and appreciation for all of those small but important things in our life. We can begin to cherish moments that previously just kind of washed by us without recognition. We begin to realign our priorities toward things that matter, experiences, relationships, growth, and prioritize them over this kind of constant cultural, societal push to just acquire things. So it's critically important if we want to appreciate the real, the meaningful, the important things in our life, that we cultivate an awareness of the transience of all things. Cultivate that awareness that everything in our lives is on loan and can be gone at any moment. And so how do we cultivate that awareness? There's kind of three things that I think are helpful to get started. The first is just an attitude of gratitude, not to be cliche. But we often, we don't appreciate things. We aren't grateful for the things in our life, especially the small things. So one of the things I often recommend, and it's something that I do myself, it's in my personal journal, I have a line every day, gratitude. And that's just each and every day identifying something in your life that you're grateful for, big, small, or in between. But every day, spend time identifying something that you're grateful for to enhance your appreciation. Another thing, number two, is to take time on a very regular basis to shut it all down, to turn off the tech, to turn off the email, not focus on work, not focus on externals, and spend real, meaningful, present time with the people that matter in your life, focusing on them. For me, it's my wife and my kids. I have a younger son, and a lot of times he'll say, Dad, can I show you something? And sometimes when I'm feeling really busy, my urge is to say, hey, I'm working on something, bud. And sometimes that's true, right? If I'm in the middle of a meeting, maybe I need to defer that for a moment. But most often, when he asks to share something with me, I'm doing something that I can set aside, that I can shut down. And I can go experience that with him. Because that's what matters. Those small moments, those micro interactions in our life are really, really important and help foster an appreciation when you can shut down those things and focus on and prioritize relationships, it really does help you cultivate an appreciation of the present moment and what's happening in them that's truly important. And that takes us to the third thing. And that's to begin, to the degree that you can, to let go of things that don't matter. Most of it doesn't matter. The things that really matter in our lives are relationships, experience, and growth. And if things are happening that are outside of that, the reality is they're probably not that important. Yes, we got to pay our bills. Yes, we need to have a roof over our heads. Yes, we need to have reliable transportation. And not everyone has those. And so if you have those, appreciate them, right? Focus on that, appreciate them. But the reality is that a lot of the stuff that distracts us, that pulls us away, that causes us grief, that causes us anxiety or anger or frustration or tension, most of that doesn't matter. But when we give our energy over to those things, it pulls us away from the things that matter. So focus on letting go, identifying and letting go of the things that don't matter in your life, because the things that matter are experiences, relationships, and growth. So as you go forward, remember that everything in our lives is on loan. So take a moment to appreciate it while you can. If you found today's content helpful, please hit that like button, share it with anyone else that you think might find it interesting or helpful or inspiring. And if you haven't subscribed, please, before you go anywhere, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, please, be well.